Hello my friends, welcome to my channel where I make Photoshop fun and easy to learn. In this video, I'll be showing you how to create this flyer inside of Photoshop, of course with processes that I'll guide you through. If you've not subscribed, make sure you use the subscribe button and make sure you like this video, share this video and give it a thumbs up. Alright guys, so let's get started. So as you can see, I have the flyer on the left hand side. So let's try and recreate this inside of Photoshop. Right, so the first thing you need to know is the size of the document I'm using is a 4x5 inch. Right, so I'm just going to be making my designs here at board 2 as we've done in previous video. So the first thing I'm going to do is select artboard 2, make sure it's selected and go over to where you have and click on solid color like this and make sure you're using a dark color, like something dark like this, and make sure it has a feel of green to it. Make sure you're not doing the mistake of going towards the blue. Make sure you stay somewhere here, right? Because most of the thing inside this is going to have green, right? So make sure you are the darkest part. So the color code here is 005000, and I can just use this first. So this is like the beginning. Now, the next thing I want to do is starting from the foundation. That's how you build, just how you build the house, right? You start from the foundation. So the next thing I like to do is the light source, right? So I would like to get a light source because you can see on the flyer you have a light source. So to get this done, one thing you can do to make this work or to do this is select this tool here called the polygon and lasso tool. Make sure you're on the new layer here like this, and double click here. Make sure your foreground color, you stay somewhere here. So it has to be somewhere around this green, because we're going to be working well with this color. So make sure you note this color down. This is the color code and click OK. So it's going to be our foreground color. So what you need to do here is simply draw like this. Make sure you have all of these settings active, and you can draw from this part here. You don't need to be too perfect, right? Draw from this part here and this part here, this part here, and finish it up here. Okay, I'm going to do that again. So finish it up here, right? So let me do that again. Draw from this part, this part, this part, this part, and close it up here like this to form this marquee, right? So when you do this, the next thing you want to do is click on Alt and Backspace to fill it with this color, right? Alt and Backspace fills it with the foreground color. Control and Backspace fills it with the white color, which is the background color. So what you need to do here is click on Alt and Backspace to fill it with this color here. Now we no longer need this weird selection going around. So just press Ctrl D or Command D on your keyboard to let go of this, right? So immediately you do this, the next thing you need to do is we need to fade this out. To do this, what we need to do is we might need to convert this to smart objects. We might have to come back there so that we can always edit this well. So go over to filter and go to blur and Gaussian blur like this. And let's zoom out so that we can see what we're doing well. So we want to blur this out so that we can have something like this, right? Something like this. Click OK. And the next thing you need to do is reduce the opacity like this and change the blend mode to linear dodge art. So you want to reduce the fill, also reduce the fill like this, and just so you have something like this, right? We are on save track, right? So next thing we need to do is we need to use a shape to define this part here at the back where you have the light source and everything. So to do this, I would go over to my shapes, right? And I'll go and import my shapes, right? Because Photoshop by default doesn't have shapes basically. So I'll go over to my shape, and if you don't find your shape here, you can go over to Windows and make sure it's selected here, right? So when it's selected, you can drag and of course you can dock it here and position this here, right? You can see my interface. I like keeping things tidy and neat. You can arrange yours different. I have a video where I arrange my interface, so you can watch that video and learn from how I arrange my interface. So what I will just do here is very, very simple. I'll click on this burger icon here and click on import shapes. Now, if you've watched my previous videos where we use this, you know that we've used something like this before. But now this one we're going to import is different. Now, this is the 1000 plus social media shapes, right? To get this, the link is in the description of this video. Now, this has all of the shapes that you can ever think of designing inside of Photoshop. So you don't need to waste your time trying to use your pen to design stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to go to the premium shapes, right? And I'm going to click on the 1000 plus premium shapes and I'm going to click on open like this. Now you can see it's opened up. I just need to click on it to open it up further. You can see you have 10 categories. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go to social media. You can see that you have a lot of things here. This is a whole lot of shapes inside here, right? So every category has a lot of shape inside, right? So I'm just going to look for what to use. There are so many things I can use if I don't want to use this shape, right? So I can scroll down and look for, you can see I have options to pick from, right? I have various options to pick from. So I can use something like this. All you just need to do is just drag out and please always click enter and get rid of the stroke. Then you can choose to make it bigger, Ctrl T and increase it like this. And we can have this like this, right? And I'm just going to click enter, easy peasy. You can see I don't have to go to the stress of having to create this shape or create any other thing. Or I can decide to use something like this. You can see this is somewhat similar to this. I think I'll just use this instead. Click enter and delete this first one. And I'm just going to have this here. And I'm just going to make this bigger so I can cover more grounds like this. And when I'm done, I'm going to click enter like this. Now remove the stroke and I'm going to change the fill color to white. You can see it has solved 100% of our problems instead of trying to go to use the pen tool and all of that. So click the link in the description to get all of these shapes and work with ease. So back to, I have this shape ready, right? So what I'm going to do now is very, very easy. I'm going to switch back to my layers. I have this shape. So one thing I want to do here is I'll make a duplicate copy of this, Ctrl J, and I'm going to bring this under this here, and I'm going to double click, and I'm going to select the color here. I told you to save this color. So click OK like this. And what I'm going to do here is very, very simple. With this one, the copy, I'm going to go over to filter. I'm going to go over to blur, and I'm going to select Gaussian blur. Yes, please convert to smart objects, and I'm going to reduce the radius. Make sure you're not doing too much. I think somewhere around here is our save spots, right? Click OK when you have this and we're good to go. So we have this and we have this going. So now let's turn our attention to this shape. So we need to clip image because this is a clipped image inside. So to do that, I'm just going to go to my file. I'm going to go over to my downloads and I'm just going to drag and drop inside here like this. Click enter and I'm just going to clip it to this shape here. So what I'm going to do is select this and right click, and I'm just going to look for create clipping mask, or I can do this manually. Just hold down your Alt key and click on this layer, and I think I prefer doing it manually. Ctrl T and resize it so that it fits well inside here and click enter. But that's not all, right? Because there are so many things going on here that's going to distort the balance of this particular design. So we don't want that. So what we need to do here is very, very simple. So go over to your adjustments and click on hue and saturation and make sure you create clipping mask. It's affecting just the image. Click on colorize and make sure you're selecting green. Increase the saturation and also increase the lightness like this so that we can have something like this. You can see we'll just solve the problem, right? Easy peasy, sharp and smooth, right? So that's all we need to do with this, right? So you can select all of this and group this, and you can name this image. Make sure your layers are well put together. So let's go ahead and bring in the image of, so this is the image here. So bringing it inside, you can make this smaller like this. And you want to position this somewhere here like this, right? So you can have the lights coming in from this part here that can have a reflection and every other thing. So click enter when you're done with this. And to fill up this part here, what you need to do is create a layer on top of the image and bring this up, double click on this and take it down and make sure you are where you have this green. And of course, the black color. So select your brush, B for brush, and make sure you are using your soft round brush piece. And your flow opacity set to 100, increase the size of the brush. And all you need to do here is just basically just brush here like this. And that's all you need to do, fam. That's everything you need to do, right? Or better still, you can make sure that this entire part is not completely black. You can move up just a bit so you have a little bit of green inside of this dark parts just to complement this part here, right? So let's use this instead and we're good to go. Now, to move on to the next stage, let's draw the lights. Basically, we're going to do something basic here. We're going to use brightness and contrast. So click on this adjustment, click on brightness and contrast, and make sure you right click and create keeping mask like this. So what you need to do is increase the brightness like this, right? So when you increase the brightness like this, click on the mask and click on Control I or Command I to invert this, right? So we don't need it on the entire image. We just need it on the edges, right? So to do this, what you need to do is switch over to your brush, select the brush and make sure your foreground color is white because you're working on a black mask. Note that if you want to note that now. So the next thing you want to do is go over to the edges like this and you want to make this part brighter like this, especially this part here. You want to make it brighter, and this is just the simple logic that we need to use so that we don't overcomplicate things. And of course, you can reduce the flow of the brush and you can make sure the eye region here is lit up. This part here is lit up, and of course the mouth region here is also lit up. Okay, so something as basic like this, you can see this is before and this is after, can just be all you need. You don't need to paint things, you don't need to do anything, no adjustments. This is just what you need to do to just get your design ready, right? So let's move on and let's add a subtle green glow on it to reflect this light here. So to do this, we're just going to go and select solid color, and we're going to select this color here, click OK, and right click again and click keeping mask. So it follows this. Change this to screen, right? So when you change it to screen, do the same thing to invert this, right? So when you invert it, this time, make sure your flow is set to a very low number, still very low, and you can increase the size of your brush and you can paint on these areas like this to create this light effect here on this parts like this, right? Just be subtle about this. If you make a mistake, you can always go back. And on the dress also, you can just add a little bit of lights where you need to add them, and just be consistent with. If you make a mistake, you can flip your foreground color and remove parts like this and you're good to go. Remove part like this, just make sure it's at the edge. Now to finish this up, what you need to do is we need to apply filter to this. So to do this, click on the image itself and click on adjustments. Now what you should click on here is photo filter. I know most of you don't use this. This is very, very important. Now select the color, and what you want to do is select this green color here, right? And click OK. So if you notice, if I increase it, you can see this is what happens. You can see that it's taking like the tone of the background and everything, right? So I can reduce it like this and I can increase it. Somewhere in between is just the perfect place that you need to be, right? To get this balance. So when you've done this, you are good to go. So you can see before our adjustments and after our adjustments, right? Easy peasy. So you can go on and bring the rest image and you can use to complete this design, right? If you've learned something very, very important in this video, make sure you share this video, hype this video, like this video, and make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
With over 1,000 premium fonts, over 100 high-quality PSD flyer templates, over 700 icons, over 3,000 premium stock photos, 3,000 plus high-resolution backgrounds, 1,000 plus 3D and PNG assets, editable PSD templates, and lots more. If you're a creative designer, UI, UX, or web designer, the Smart Designer's graphics assets will make your life much more easier.